I went for a traditional work placement in an integrated media agency. I wanted to learn about all the different teams that make up one agency and hopefully be allowed the opportunity to get involved with each of them. I based the decision around the modules which interested me of pitching and account planning. By working with Exposure, I knew I would be able to have the opportunity to work with these teams. What was also so good was that I knew the company explored a wide range of markets, from digital, creative, and even fashion. On the screen is a range of brands that Exposure work with. I worked with the majority of these brands during my time with Exposure. What was so good is that lots of these are my own personal interests, so I was able to put a lot of passion into the work that I was doing. Working with a range of different brands was excellent because I was able to work with campaigns, promotions, and even events. I found Exposure through contacts, but what was so good about it was that it was only 45 minutes away from home. It wasn't my first choice, but lots of other agencies were not interested in taking on interns. This was due to the Olympics, and many agencies had many big campaigns that they were currently working on. I researched into Exposure, and I found out it's one of the leading media agencies, so I knew this was going to be a huge opportunity for me. I felt I lacked a lot in my creative side, and I wanted to go into an agency and be in a team where I could apply my skills the quickest. I felt my strengths going into the placement were communications, teamwork, and planning. I wanted to get out of my placement an armoury of practical attributes that had been enhanced by my experience in terms of skills and contacts that I could therefore apply later. I got to choose which segment I went into, so I decided the client servicing team. I felt this was the most appropriate section to me and also my interests. By being able to choose which department I wanted to work in, I knew I'd be allowed to explore all the segments and get to know everything about a media agency. I don't feel that the skills I went into placement with have been enhanced. However, I believe I have developed new skills about certain media segments I did not have much understanding about before. I got to learn a lot about social and digital media, and also the importance that these medias have to play now in the market, with mobile becoming the most developing media that there is. I found a lot of my placement to be quite a negative experience. I had hoped for the opportunity to work with many teams, not with just the client servicing, and therefore I feel I have not fully enhanced my opportunity. One of the skills that definitely has been enhanced is the opportunity to pitch and my presentation skills. I was tasked with many products and many pitches that I had to put across to many different members of the staff at Exposure. I found this to be an amazing opportunity because I was getting great feedback about how to change and how to apply my skills differently to different situations and scenarios that you will have to encounter whilst working for a media agency. On the screen is my pitch that I had to put across to Exposure about where they should go next in the world of media. This involved market research, which sort of media they should go into, for example mobile apps, what they would need if they were going to set up an in-house team, and also the positives and negatives and the different options that Exposure have. The three main brands I got to work with were Curacy Cinnamon Cereal, Tiger Beer, and Casio watches. All these three brands are different. For example, Curacy Cinnamon wanted to put a file ad together, Tiger Beer wanted to put a print ad that would go global, and Casio wanted to create market research, find out how they can make their social media improve. One of the things I learned the most was about the creation of a viral advert. I got the opportunity to go to Shepperton Studios and experience Curacy Cinnamon viral ad put together. It was called the Boombox Challenge, and it involved the people like Chris Kamara and other guests who would try and catch as much of the breakfast in their mouth whilst hanging from the ceiling, coming from a boombox. I found this to be an absolutely incredible experience, just because I found out how long it took for a viral advert to be created, and also the process and the amount of time and money that needs to go in to make an advert become so successful. Working for Exposure has made me aware that an integrating agency isn't what I want to get into. I feel that my interest would be more suited to an above-the-line advertising company, so I have therefore arranged more placement for September 2012 to get experience in this market. My intentions, I feel, have not been met, and I wish I was given more of an opportunity. I feel I have myself to blame for not asking to move around. However, in the last week and a half, being given different projects and pitches to work on really gave me the opportunity to show my skills. So therefore, in the light of the experience, I wish I'd worked with a smaller agency, but I would have really been given a greater opportunity of getting involved. It has informed me that I want to work for many different markets and many different companies to really understand where I want to be when I graduate from university. As right now, I'm still unsure if media is definitely for me. This experience has benefited me because I've realised I need to undertake further reading to get to know a deeper understanding of the different sections in the media. I was forced to juggle many tasks, but also make sure each task is completed effectively. This made me learn that I need to work under consumer pressure and deadlines and get the professional results. It made me aware that when I complete my work at university, I need to do it and practice like I'm under a consumer pressure. I take from this experience is the seeing and creation of the campaigns and adverts coming together. It's also about getting an understanding if I want to go into client servicing, digital, creative, or even going completely different and possibly going above the line advertising. So this has made me aware that I really need to take time and understand which section I thought I'd be most appropriate for. On a negative, I believe I wasn't given a big enough opportunity to really get involved. From time to time I felt like an extra in the office, and they could just give me any task that they could really think of. I have not accomplished what I set out to achieve. However, I have learned different information regarding different medias that I can apply to my university studies. I feel I have met all the demands that were placed on me. I saw to my time and tasks with everything finished and performed to a high standard. I feel it has strengthened me in certain areas and hopefully I can apply this. Working for brands, you realise the demands they have and how important it is. So this is why working at the agency made me realise the importance of keeping to that tight schedule. Deeper study and practice into the media market will give me more opportunity to practice my skills and therefore aid my personal development. In conclusion, I feel I would be appropriate to get into the media market, so I feel I am able to handle all the situations and pressures that were placed upon me. I know that I lack a lot in experience, but I know that will develop over time. I also feel what I have learned from this work placement will aid me greatly. I am very pleased that I got the opportunity to experience a month working for the media agency.